A Mexican standoff is a situation where neither party that is confronting each other has any hope of getting out of the situation safely. Whoever makes the first move probably ends it. So that's what a Mexican standoff is. And I'll tell you about a situation in my life where I had one. Okay? So I've been thinking about my old friend Brian. In the 76 thereabouts, we were up to some pretty bad stuff. And but I had this house on 375 East 20th, and we'd get up at noon and we'd go to this little corner cafe, the Cameron Cafe, Chinese Canadian Cafe, and we'd kind of hold court there. If I wasn't at the house, people just wander out, but my dog would keep everybody out of the house. It was just a unique time. So I had Jennifer was my stripper girlfriend, and my friend Todd, and we had a couple dogs, and my friend Brian would come down every week to score, and we would crank Chicago blues 24/7, and it was a party. We had he liked Tuborg, I liked Heineken. We had Texas Mickeys of every kind of liquor, and we had cases of French wine, and we mixed that with whatever we could find. Sun Leather with drugs, and we had this big party. So the two girls, his girlfriend my girlfriend Jennifer and his girlfriend Laura, said, "Well, why don't you take us out to dinner? Like get out of this place." And okay, so we put on clean shirts and we went to the Nanking restaurant, seafood restaurant, Mandarin food, not a Cantonese like a Hong Kong style, but Mandarin food, a lot of seafood and hot pot and stuff like that. It was on, was it on Hastings? Anyway, so we went there and we sat at a booth. Now it was all women. It was a woman was the chef, beautiful Asian women, Chinese women. And so we sat at a booth, and I sat on so Jennifer on the inside, and I sat here. Sorry, the location is important. And Laura sat there, and Brian sat there, and there was these two guys behind us, one on each side of their booth. And so we thought we'd have a mellow evening with the ladies. So we get there, and the first thing, Brian and Laura asked for forks. That's an important part of the story too. So we're sitting there, and these two guys are drunk, and they're short on their bill. And they were probably like 30. I was probably about 19 or 20. Brian's around the same age, and these were big guys. We should have been, they were rough-looking kind of guys. So they started berating the waitresses, and that was uncool. And saying that they're not going to pay it, and whatever, they'll come back if they and feel like it or whatever. So when they used the racial slur at the ladies, I went, my girlfriend, who was just like my wife now, they like, Dave, don't do anything. And then finally at a certain point, they let me out. They go, yeah, time for action. So I got up and leaped in front of the guy who was doing most of the mouthing off. And he probably would have been able to take me out, but he's stuck in the booth. And I thought I had the superior position. And I thought I'd get a couple in or whatever. Still a very, very risky proposal. I said, hey man, I'll pay your bill. Just get the fuck out. He goes, yeah? I said, yeah, I'll pay your bill, man. You're being insulting, you're being rude. Can't do it. I'm not gonna have it. Yeah, what are you gonna do about it? The whole thing. I'm thinking, oh man, it was so tense. And these guys were so ready to do battle. And like I say, they were older than us. They probably would have taken us down. Oh. At this time, Brian with the skinny arm spins around in his booth and puts his fork up to the throat of the guy across the table. He goes, I'll rip his throat out with this fork. And Brian was, like, his eyes were pure terror. He was a crazy, crazy guy. And stopped like this. And, I'll do it. Uncomfortable silence. Well, You gonna move towards the door, or am I gonna do your buddy with this fork, right? It's like, what the hell? Meanwhile, the two Chinese ladies are standing there thinking, oh, what the hell's gonna happen? Bloodshed, the rest. Anyway, they decided to leave, and Brian Frog walked this guy to the door, and I followed the other guy. They went out, and of course, the Chinese ladies wanted to give us a free dinner, but we insisted on paying. So, for years after that, the two girlfriends would go, yeah, why don't we have a nice romantic dinner like one at the Nanking restaurant, right? Yeah. It just goes to show that you can have a Mexican standoff in a Chinese restaurant. R.I.P. Brian, what a crazy guy. Wow.